Perfect. Okay. So hello, everybody. My name is Lindsay Ellwanger. This is the Student Data Portal webinar for 2022. Today, I'm going to be telling you a little bit about our secure student data portal, what it is and how we use it. And then I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the entire system and how to report your data. If you've been here before, the information that I'm giving you this year is the same as last year. There's nothing new this year as far as reporting goes. So welcome. If you're here and you're new, awesome. We're glad you're here. And if you're here for a refresher, awesome. We're glad you're here too. On the line today with me, I have Barbara Mix and Randy Smith, also from the Workforce Board. And they are going to help me answer any questions that you have. I will probably have this screen closed once I open my, I'm going to go ahead and open a PowerPoint here in a second and share my screen. So Barbara and Randy, if you can go ahead and interrupt me if people have questions or help me navigate that, that would be awesome. I can't see the chat at the same time as I can see everything else. So if you have questions while we're going, go ahead and type them in the chat. And then also at the end of the webinar, there will be an opportunity for you to turn your microphone on and ask questions. So that's how we're going to roll today. So again, welcome. I'm going to share my screen so we can go ahead and get this started. Okie dokie. Can everybody see my screen? Barbara, Randy, can somebody unmute and make sure you can see my screen?
Yep, we could see it.
Okay, thank you. Perfect. Okay, so once again, we're talking about the Workforce Board Student Data Portal today. Very exciting. So what is the Student Data Portal? So it is our secure online system where you go to report your annual student data to us. It is encrypted. It is designed to keep your student records safe and private. So we don't want you to worry about reporting your student information to us. We know that this information is sensitive and that you are reporting things that are delicate. So we want you to know that the system is keeping all of your information safe. And that we're also trying to work on consistently improving and adding additional protections and simplifying our user experience. There's not a whole lot this year that's different with the student data portal other than it got a makeover this year. So a few years ago, we totally revamped our agency website and our agency logo. And so we finally were able to catch up and make our student data portal match all of our updated marketing materials. So everything is looking sharp now and everything matches. So that's the only thing that looks a lot different than the last time you've seen the portal, if you've seen it before. If you haven't, you don't know how yucky it used to look. So yay for you. Okay, so here is just a data reporting timeline. On June 1st, we asked you, well, maybe not you. So we asked, each school has a CareerBridge account on our CareerBridge website. And we reached out to anybody who is a CareerBridge registered user and we asked those users to go ahead and update their programs on the CareerBridge website. And we did that because that is where we get the data for our student data portal from. So if when you start reporting your data, things don't match, it's because your CareerBridge website was not updated. So sometimes the users are the same, sometimes they're different depending on how big or small your school is probably. So if you did not get an email about updating CareerBridge, it's probably because you are not the registered user, and we did send that out to all schools. So I'll get to that later, but we can work with you to help you figure that out later. So June 24th was the deadline for updating our CareerBridge website. Like I said, after you update the CareerBridge website, we actually suck all of that data over into our student data portal. And this year, July 5th was the date that the student data portal opens. And today is July 14th, and it's our one and only student data webinar. But like I said at the beginning, I will be posting this recording to our website, so you can go back and review it at any time. And the deadline for reporting your data this year is August 26th. That will be the last day to report your student data before the portal closes. We really encourage you to start reporting as soon as the portal opens, to ensure that your data is delivered with as few delays as possible. There's a lot of problems that you can have if you don't report your data. If you're a private career school and you don't report your data, you won't be able to renew your school license until you report your data. So you're going to want to go ahead and make sure that you get that reported. Also, we ask that you just report as soon as you can, because like I mentioned earlier, if your programs on the student data portal aren't actually what you're offering, we have to go back through the process of getting in touch with your CareerBridge registered user and have them update CareerBridge first. And so it takes a little bit of time. So I would recommend not waiting until the very end to do that. Okay, so what programs to report on? There's different requirements for different types of schools. Some of our other types of schools that aren't private career schools, we get all of their data. We just get a lot of their data from other data sources other than them directly reporting it to us. So for private career schools, you have to report all of your programs to us. If you're a community and technical college, you have to report any non-credit certificate program that you want to have evaluated for our state's eligible training provider list. And CareerBridge, if I did not mention before, is home to our state's eligible training provider list. So if you are not a private career school and you are reporting data because you want to be on our state's eligible training provider list. So yeah, if you're a public four-year college, you need to report any certificate program that you want to have evaluated for eligibility on our ETP list. And if you are a private four-year college, you need to report all programs that you want to be on our eligible training provider list. And if you are not one of those four types of schools, you need to report data for anything that you have on CareerBridge. Okay. And if you have questions on that, let me know or type in the chat. And I'm going to let, at the end of my PowerPoint, I'm going to let Barbara and Randy go ahead and let me know if I missed anything, or you guys feel free to interrupt me whenever you want if I have missed something. Okay, so what students do you need to report? You need to report all students that were enrolled in your programs between July 1st, 2021 and June 30th, 2022. And so this includes all students, including private pay students, not just students who are funded through WorkSource or other funding sources. So you need to report all students. We get that question a lot, so we want to make sure that you're reporting everything that you need to report to us. Okay, and then why does this data make a difference? So as the Workforce Board, we evaluate the performance of career-focused education and training programs throughout Washington State. And we provide those performance results on employment earnings and completion rates through that CareerBridge website that I talked about. This evaluation process requires us to collect student data across a wide range of programs. And we use that data to, we put it out on our CareerBridge website. And as regulators of our state's private career school, we also evaluate the sector's performance as a whole through our workforce training results report, which we provide to legislators and policymakers. So we actually take the data that you report and we do a wage match with your social security numbers or with the student social security numbers. And then we take the data that we get back from crunching the numbers and we put it out on our CareerBridge website so that students can come look at the website and see how these programs performed so that they can make educated choices about what programs they'd like to take. And also, if you're a private career school, you're required to provide this data to us to retain your license. So that is another big reason to report your data. Okay, and then the last thing I have to say as part of this PowerPoint is don't forget about CareerBridge. So again, before you're able to report your student data, you must have updated your programs on the CareerBridge website. Like I said, you may or may not be the CareerBridge registered user. And you'll find out when you log into the student data portal if your programs are correct or not. So if you log in and find out that you're having problems, let us know and we can help you. But if you are a CareerBridge registered user and you have not updated your programs yet, please do that first, or you will have a lot of error messages when you go to report your data and you won't be able to submit your data until you get that sorted out. So that's about it for that PowerPoint. Barbara or Randy, do you have anything to say? Did I miss anything?
No, I think you got everything.
Okay, there is a question and I think I know it, but I'm going to let Randy answer. Report only Washington students or out of state as well. All of our programs are 100% online.
Yeah, so it depends on the purpose, whether you report them or not. The easiest thing is to report all students, because of course part of the student information is their address, so we know that whether they're in state or not. But for purposes of ETP, we need to know all students, period. But I think for the purposes of private vocational schools, they don't care about out-of-state students. So I would say just report all students. That's the easiest thing to do, and it's the most complete thing to do.
And that would have been my answer also. It's just easier, especially if you're a smaller school or in your case, an online, because that way you're not picking and choosing who to send to us. We can pick, well, Randy, when he does the evaluation, can pick and choose.
And we do have another question here about what students to include, and it's whether they have a 14-day cancellation policy where all funds are reversed. And I would say that you don't have to include those just because they were never really enrolled. They were because they never had to pay anything. So I would say that for that particular question, for our purposes, they were never enrolled.
That makes sense to me. I like it. Okay. Was that it? We have any more questions before I move into walking through the actual reporting process?
I have
there-
one question.
All right, go ahead.
It's a follow-up to the people that drop out before they begin. What about people who drop out along the way,
You do have to include those.
even in the first week?
Well, no, not necessarily. So what it is if you do that full refund and it's very short, it's a very short dropout, then you wouldn't have to include them. But as they go, we need to know more and more about, why they dropped out. Basically, you have to report them being enrolled if they're enrolled for, a significant part of the course.
So,
Okay.
Mark?
so first week, you're saying no?
Right, a first week with a refund. So that's an important piece of it. If they end up paying any money at all, we definitely need to know about anybody like that.
Randy, can you address the one regarding the one from M here?
Can you read it out loud for the recording?
Sure. Is there a way to find out if someone?
I can read it if
Okay,
you want.
sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait, is that
please go
me
ahead.
or is that someone else's? Oh, no,
Which
sorry, that
one
was
are you-
someone else's.
Okay, no, I
I'm
was going
I'm
to-
down the line.
I'll get to yours
Sorry.
in just a moment, Erin. This question is there a way to find out if someone from our school is already registered in CareerBridge? I am new to the licensing arena and the prior individual didn't leave me much information on the process previously developed. And I guess that I'm a little confused on your question. And so
Yeah.
that's why Randy's a smart
Yeah.
little cookie.
I mean, just if you need to know that, no, that's a good question. If you need to know who, if you have a CareerBridge registered user, every school should have a registered user. But if you need to know who they are, or if you need to work with them, or you just want to know more about what they do on CareerBridge, go ahead and send us an email, and and we can give you their information so that you know who they are. We can help you find them.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. He has actually left the school. He's working somewhere else now, and I can no longer get a hold of him. So I have no idea. I have his name, so I can provide that information and probably an email address that was used.
Oh, yeah. So then if you have a situation where you've got a registered user that no longer is there, go ahead and send us an email and let us know. And what we'll have you do is we'll have to have you or whoever you designate, they need to take over your CareerBridge account.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And then if they are also on as a contact for the student data portal, we'll double check that as well. And we'll just want to know so we can inactivate them so they can't log into your data reporting anymore.
Okay.
Because we don't want
Okay.
that. We don't want them to have access if you don't want them to have access. So
Right.
Right.
Thank you for understanding the question. I was thinking a student, not a registered user.
I got you,
Erin?
Barbara.
Erin has a question. We're a private vocational school. However, several of our programs are continuing ed for credentialed coaches and are therefore already practicing in their vocation. Do we need to report on these programs or just our initial coach training? correct me if I'm wrong on this, but they only report on the initial coach training because we're looking for students who are taking training to get jobs. Am I-
Because it's a private vocational school, you have to report
Oh.
every private vocational school program. So everything that's been licensed by PBS.
Right, so the real answer is if it's on your license, you need to report them. If it's not on your license, and there are reasons why certain programs are not on a license, you don't have to. But if it's on your license, it's on Career Bridge, it has to be reported.
Yeah, and I would say that the reason for this is that there's multiple reasons for this
Right.
reporting of students. One is because we regulate private vocational schools, and the other is that we regulate eligible training providers. So it's two overlapping things, and we just sort of make it work for both.
Right. Okay, then Erica from Banaz, the report mentions deadline June 30th. Our class started on July 4. Did I include the students in this report or leave them for the next period? Those are for the next period. If they did not start before June 30, 2022, I am so
That's right.
sorry. I am so wrong. I get so mixed up on these years.
That is correct, Barbara. I know
Yep.
these dates. I have to tell you guys, these dates get really hard for us to follow.
Yes.
They started after June 30th, 2022. Then
Cannot report them this year. The
save them for
spreadsheet,
next year.
right, the spreadsheet is set up. Darren, is there a way to look up which students have already been reported? Lindsay will go over
Yes.
how to find continuing students when she gets to the actual report period.
And
Yes.
there were a couple follow-ups on the this whole, do we report a drop or not?
Right.
And the thing is we can't really say for sure because it depends on policies of the school, because we serve so many different types of schools. Some have programs that are not even close to 2 weeks. So obviously the conditions are a little bit different on every school. We can't really give a concrete cutoff. But what I would say is that certainly every time a student actually pays for anything, or they have taken a substantial amount of the course, or any sort of amount that you wouldn't expect them to drop out just because of an initial impression, then you would have to report them.
And if you want, you can always send us an email and we can give you a more specific answer if you give us more details. We don't want to give a blanket answer because of what Randy said, but if you let us know, like, hey, my program's 2 weeks long, somebody dropped out after this amount of time, like we might be able to give you a more concrete answer. But right, everybody's programs are so different that it's hard to pick a blanket number of days that are the cutoff period. So yeah.
Okay, and I think we're caught up now, so we could get into the actual reporting piece.
Yay. That's the most fun part. All right, let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to start. So this is our main Workforce Board website. It's www.wtb.wa.gov. Mine looks a little funky because I'm trapped in editing mode. So when you go there, you won't see this black bar on the top, but other than that, it'll look the same. So yeah, so we're going to go to the page on our website that has all of the information about student data reporting. If you go to private career schools and you hover over it, on the drop down, there is a link right here to student data reporting. So if you click on that, it'll take you to a whole page full of information about student data reporting. So right here in this orange box, you will see that the student data portal is open for you to report. And this link right here, click here to access the student data portal, will actually take you to the student data portal. Let's see, in this blue box right here, the watch a webinar, Right now, there's my webinar from last year in there, but after today or after we get off this webinar, I will put this new one up there. So that will be replaced soon. At the bottom of the page, there are frequently asked questions. It's basically everything that I went over in the PowerPoint today. Yes, so this gray box over here is basically everything that you need to report your data. So if you are a new user and you have never submitted data before, you will need to fill out this authorization form and return it to us. So it's basically just a form saying what school you're with and who you are in this top box. And then this bottom area down here is basically who has given you the authority to report data on behalf of their school. You can fill it out and sign it. And we prefer that you return it to us as a PDF. I don't think we've ever gotten one in the mail, or we haven't for a long time. But if for some reason you need to mail it to us, we will receive that too. So when you submit this form back to us, then we go and actually add your information into the data reporting system, and then we will send you an email that has your password in it, and your username is always your email address. So yeah, so if you're new, go ahead and fill that out and send it back to us, and we will get you started.
I hate to interrupt you on this
Please
part,
do, Barbara.
Lindsay.
You are allowed to interrupt whenever you want.
I know. I just wanted to say that there is a case or three where your username is not your email. If your school uses a generic email like admin@myschool, and the old person left, but you took over, unfortunately, the email is still in the system, so you will get a different type of username. So just be aware that you will need to look to an email from any of us, or we try to send it out from data reporting just in case there is a difference.
Yeah, if you're a weird special case, we'll let you know. If you just get an email that says your password has been reset, then just assume that your username is your email address. That's safe, right, Barbara?
That is safe.
Okay. So the next thing on here is a user guide. It is a big, long, terrible PDF that has 1 million pages, and it has our old ugly reporting system look on it. I highly would recommend that if you need help, to go back and just fast forward through the webinar to the part of the reporting that you need help with. I personally recommend that over going back to the user guide. I think it's a lot easier. So I would ignore the user guide. It's there if you want it, but I prefer to go back through the webinar.
It's there because we're a state agency and we like to put out paper.
We do like paper. Okay, so the next thing on here is the most important thing. This is the spreadsheet that you are going to submit your report on, or where you're going to put your students into. So I'll get into this a little bit later, but there are 2 ways to report your students. You can either report them on this spreadsheet, or you can report them directly into the student data portal. I would highly recommend using this spreadsheet unless you have like maybe 1 or 2 students. If you have more than that, this is much easier. So this spreadsheet has all of the information that you need to report your students, or it'll tell you exactly what information it needs from you. We tried to make it easier to report. It has a drop-down menu, which it was open in read-only mode, of course, because, hold on, I got to download it. Okay. So if you click on it, it has a drop-down menu that'll help you select which thing you need from the menu. So on a lot of these columns, everything is numbered because that's how our system reads things. So you have to pick whatever number relates to what you're looking for. So maybe you pick a 4. Yes, no is also numbered. So everything, we tried to make everything a drop down so that it's easier, and some obviously don't have a drop down, but it'll tell you exactly what to do in each box. So hopefully you will find that helpful. I will go through that in my other folder. Okay. So I'll get into that in a second. Okay, then this document right here is just a list of every single thing that goes into the data report and what each one of those codes means. So if you just want sort of a cheat sheet to look at to see, oh, here's every single column, here's what I need to report, and here is the number that goes with each code. This is where you would get that from. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about this page before I actually go into the data portal? Or Barbara or Randy, do you have anything to add?
How remote is this? And so I did a little legwork and I talked to Cynthia and Lisa, and I found where the state doesn't prohibit it based on qualified applicants from out of state, but it really is an agency discretion. So you did apply. Certainly, I would like to interview him, but I don't want to waste his time.
Oh, I don't think she's talking to us.
Oh, yeah. So we did have one question about the spreadsheet getting updated for the asking about that the dates and SSNs were not correct on the spreadsheet. Now, I think in that case we'll have to work with you personally to work it through. Just because it really doesn't have like dates and SSNs on it, other than if you download the continuing students. So there might be some sort of misunderstanding going on there, but every time you upload a spreadsheet, we basically get a copy of it, and so we're able to view what's on it and then work with you, personally on what the problem is. So just contact us, just reach out to us, and we'll work through it.
I do apologize. I'm on somebody else's computer and I hit some weird button.
All right, I'm hitting mute all again, just to make everyone be quiet. And then Randy and Barbara, feel free to unmute yourself. Okay, so I clicked on click here to access student data portal. So we are going over to the student data portal. So this is what it looks like. There's a couple things. Like I said before, your email is the username most of the time. You probably already know if you're a special case or we'll let you know if you're a special case that has a strange username. Your password goes here. If you forgot your password, you are going to click on this little guy right here, enter your email and hit reset password. One thing you need to know is it sometimes takes a couple minutes for your password to come in. So if you try to do the reset password a bunch of times in a row, it will lock you out of your account. It will literally tell you your account is locked, and then you have to contact us to get your account unlocked. So try to be a little bit patient if you hit reset password and it doesn't come immediately. And yeah, hopefully it'll send it to you. I mean, obviously, if it doesn't send it to you in a couple minutes, do it again. We can always help you get into. We can help set your password to something specific if you can't quite figure it out. If you need help, you can email us at datareporting@wtb.wa.gov or give us a call. Honestly, none of us are in the office all the time. So I'm working from home all the time. And I think Barbara and Randy are in the office a couple days a week. So this phone number goes to our front desk. It's actually way easier to send us an email. We are all checking the box several times a day, and it's easier for you to just send us an email and we will give you a call or answer your question over email. So that is what I would recommend. There's also a help center down here. Oh, that takes you to CareerBridge. Don't do that. I need to update that page. Don't click that button. Okay. Let's see. If you need help, go back to this webinar or read that crazy document that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and log in because luckily I changed my password this morning, so I know what it is. Okay. So when I log into the portal, this is what it looks like. The first thing you should notice is your school name should be right here. So if you don't see your school name right there, you have a problem, and let us know right away. So basically, this right here will walk you through all of the steps to getting your data reported. And there's always two ways to do everything on here. You can go through these buttons, or there's these buttons on the left-hand side. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to view your programs. So you're going to click here, and these programs and they're also over here under the Your Programs menu bar. So these programs are the list of programs that we are expecting you to report on. So this is where I was talking about where the CareerBridge programs need to match exactly. So whatever is entered on CareerBridge, that is what is getting sucked over into here. So if what you're seeing right here does not match whatever programs you're offering, then let us know and we can help you figure out how to get in contact with your CareerBridge registered user, or if you are the registered user, we can just remind you or help you get back on CareerBridge to go ahead and update those programs. Oh, I see chats coming in. Are there questions that I need to answer, Randy or Barbara, or can I keep going?
We've been chatting back.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything right now.
All right, you're good. Okay. So you can go back to your reporting steps. So the next thing you want to do is you want to look at your continuing students. And so somebody asked a question about these earlier. So I don't have any, but I'm going to go back to a year where I might have some just for fun. Okay. So if I had students that I reported last year, but I reported that they were still enrolled in the program, they would all show up right here. And so you can actually start your spreadsheet from here. You can hit this export button and it will download the spreadsheet with those people already populated into the spreadsheet. So you just want to make sure that you don't forget about those people that you reported last year, but are still continuing on this year. So that's how you access them or find them. So make sure you either export them into a spreadsheet, and you can either copy and paste them into a new spreadsheet if you're already working on one, or you can start from there. But we want to make sure you don't forget about those guys. Okay, we're gonna go back to the steps. We're gonna skip step 3 because it goes back to those step-by-step instructions. Instead, we are going to go to this box right here that says start your report. Okay, so like I said before, there are 2 different ways to report your student data. There's either an Excel spreadsheet that you're going to upload, or there is a form that I'll show you where if you want to use the form, you click on the form and then you hit add student, and it'll have you add the student one by one. And then you'd hit this little button to save, or hit this little button to save and add another. Like I said before, I do not recommend that unless you have like maybe 1 or 2 students, because it just takes forever and it's easier to enter them on the spreadsheet. So I'm going to go back to start your.
I would also like to put in another reason to not use the form is if your computer suddenly freezes up or there's a problem, you may lose data. I have lost data, and I don't want our schools to be losing data.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't be good. Yes, so I would avoid this and use the spreadsheet. So I'm going to go back to start your report. I'm going to leave. So if you got in here and realized, oh shoot, I don't have that Excel template, you can download it right here and you'll get the blank one. So also, this is a question we get a lot. If you do not have any students, or you did not have any students during that reporting period for whatever reason, you still need to log in and certify that you had no students. So that will be done right here at the bottom of this page. So you're just going to pick a reason why maybe you didn't offer training, and then whatever your reason was, COVID, and then you can certify no students. But yes, so if you did not have students, you will need to go ahead and let us know that you had no students. But Lindsay's Awesome School had students this year. So I'm going to go ahead and upload a file. So I hit the upload file button. I'm going to choose a file. If I can find it. So you put it in there and then hit upload data. Okay. Woo, those colors are hard to read together. Maybe we need to edit those. Okay, so it is telling me that there is some invalid data was found in the spreadsheet. You will need to fix the errors in the Excel file and upload again. So what that means is that there was a problem with my spreadsheet. They found some errors in the data that I reported. However, this spreadsheet is really nice because the system will actually tell you exactly where those errors are. So it says refer to view all report errors. So I'm going to click view all report errors. And it is going to show me in row 4 of my spreadsheet, I'm going to open my spreadsheet too. So this, as far as errors go, this is the one that you will see the most often. Location, program, award type, and then the error must be exact match of information on your programs page. What it's telling you is that something that you put in either the location, program title, or program award type does not match something that you put into your programs page. So a lot of times what happens is people will put the wrong location for the wrong program, or they'll put, instead of certificate, they'll put certificate of completion, and that throws it off. It needs to match. It needs to be identical, basically. If you spell something wrong, that throws it off. So you just have to be very careful and make sure that it matches exactly. So it looks like in this case, I spelled decent wrong. So I would need to fix that. And then, so once I fixed it and saved it, this screen is going to be weird. Okay. So once I corrected my errors, I would go back to upload Excel file. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention, make sure that you save this Excel spreadsheet somewhere on your computer. I can't tell you how many phone calls I've gotten saying, I downloaded this and now I can't find it, or somebody had entered a bunch of students, but they didn't save it. And so they lost all of their student data, and it was really sad, but there's nothing I can do to help you with that. So make sure you're going to file, save as, and saving the Excel template on your computer somewhere, and that you can find it again. So, okay, I'm going to go to choose file. I'm going to upload my new spreadsheet. I'm going to hit upload. And then it tells you, congratulations, 4 student data records uploaded. You may have student data errors to fix before you can certify and submit. Check for errors on the student data page or certify and submit page. So after you upload your data, the final step is to go to the certify and submit page and certify and submit your data. So I'm going to go down there, and then it shows you, it'll show you all the programs that you reported right here. And then it'll show you how many students, and if you pass the edits, or if you've got errors. And view all report errors is right here too. So it'll show you, you can click there to see if you have any errors. But right here, there are 2 errors that I need to fix. It wants to know why I have 0 students for these programs. The reason is required. So I need to go in and hit this little pencil and edit. And my reason, I'm just going to say I didn't offer training because of COVID. I'm going to save this program. I'm going to say the same thing. Didn't offer training because of COVID. Okay, so once you do not see any more red on the page anywhere, you need to go down here, check this little box, certify that your report is correct, and hit submit report. And if you are successful, you will get this little box that says, congratulations, your student data report has been successfully submitted. And it'll let you know, it won't let you submit it if you still have errors. So once you get the congratulations, then you are done. It sends us an email letting us that you submitted your report, and you are good to go. And if you don't, toward the end, we start sending out emails reminding people to submit their data, and we remove people, or the system automatically generates a list of people who haven't submitted their report. So if we get toward the end of reporting and you're getting emails from us that says, hey, you haven't certified or you haven't submitted your report yet, it's probably because you forgot to go to the certify and submit page and check the box. So make sure you check that. And if you can't figure out, if you think you've submitted it and you can't figure out why it's telling you you haven't, make sure you contact us, because for some reason we think you haven't submitted. So that's about it. Hopefully that isn't too complicated. I'm going to open the floor up for questions. I know that Randy and Barbara have been doing a fantastic job of answering as we're going along.
Just one note that just to be clear, that little congratulations message, it doesn't follow up with an email to you. So all you'll get is that little congratulations thing, and then you're done. But if we have any problems, we'll just reach out and talk to you.
Yep. It sends us a message and lets us know that you've submitted. But like I said, if you start to get emails from us saying, just a reminder, you need to submit your report, make sure you let us know, hey, I did submit my report, so we can figure out what's going on.
Right. Lindsay, would you mind going back to your programs?
Sure.
Okay, I would like to remind everybody that under locations, this is all we need is just the city. I've had people in the past enter their address, city and state, etc. The spreadsheet absolutely has to match what's on here, your location and your program name and your award type. Just ignore ETP status and alternate program names. These are no longer things that we worry about.
Cool. Okay, do we have any more questions from the chat or?
No, nothing in the chat yet, but certainly you could unmute yourself and start talking if you have questions. I did point out to someone that, if you have specific questions, just feel free to reach out to us at data reporting at wtb.wa.gov.
Yeah, send us an email if you have a question that's not very general but specific to your program. We are happy to help at any time. We are here at the ready to get you up and running. So make sure you reach out to us if you have questions. And yeah, we're here for you. So hopefully this process won't be too difficult. And we're happy to help you out if you need it. So I guess if no one else has any questions, that is the end of our webinar. And thank you all for coming today. And you can stick around and ask questions if you want.
Gloria has 2 daughters.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Gloria has 2 daughters.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna shut the webinar down. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day. And thanks for coming.